Okay, so I have now completed the other side of the envelope pillowcase, and now we get to the point where we have to do what we call seam finishes. So these are two seams, and obviously here we've created a hem on both ends of the rectangle. So our seams here, we can leave them like this, but then this little item won't last very long. It won't survive many washes and handling and so forth, because more friction on the edge here, the raw edge as we call it, will eventually result in there being very little of the fabric left. As you can see, if I just do this, the fabric is already unraveling. So I've got a little sample here of a seam, and remember, where you have a seam from where the needle perforates your fabric to the raw edge, we call that the seam allowance. Okay, from where your stitches to the raw edge, the seam allowance. One of the coolest ways that you could finish the raw edge and prevent it from fraying is to cut it with a pinking shears. This is pinking shears, and as you can see, it doesn't have a normal blade. It has a strange blade that is going to cut these little bias incisions into the fabric. And the beautiful thing about that is you will see it doesn't fray. Okay, so if you have fabric that's cut on the grain of the fabric, and you see what happens, it unravels. But the minute that we cut 45 degrees across, if we cut like that, it will not unravel. But obviously we're not going to cut like that, because then we'll not have a straight line anymore. So this blade is going to cut all these tiny little 45-degree angles into the edge, and that will prevent the fabric from fraying. So on our example here, I could just do that and just cut the edge of my seam. And it's sometimes a bit tricky to do this through many layers, so I wouldn't suggest you do a lot of layers like this in one go, because it might also put some strain on your pinking shears. But basically there we have a very nice clean edge now, and I'm just going to demonstrate here. I'm going to also cut little corners away, and I'll just demonstrate on this side for the purposes of turning this inside out. Now when we turn this inside out, you'll see I'm going to hold the corners like that, and this lovely pink gadget is called a point turner, and you get these in bamboo and wood and all kinds of other materials. This is just nice pink plastic, so you wouldn't want to press over this, but basically its job is to help you to poke out the corners so that they're nice and sharp. And then, as you can see, we're basically done with our envelope pillowcase. So if both of the seams were finished with the pinking shears, then our last step is to put our tissues in there. And quite a few of my students tell me that once they know how to do this, they even make birthday cards, and instead of having an envelope in paper, they even sew little envelopes from scrap fabrics. So voila, there you have it, easy peasy envelope pillowcase.